Loads of West Ham news. They like buses. You wait around for a little bit and it all comes along at once. Two main bits that I'm going to deal with in this. Well, actually three, really, that I'm going to deal with in this video. Firstly, Kurt Zouma has agreed to leave the club. And secondly, we found out the full cost of Wan Bissaka. I don't think there's going to be Wan Bissaka at West Ham. I'm afraid. Look, I don't mind as long as we get somebody in. That's absolutely fine. We know that right back's a problem position for us at the moment. But we found out the true cost of him leaving Manchester United. I've been reporting it here for a long time. We bought the fee. He was holding out for a loyalty fee of £3 million. Now, because the whole point of it is he's not asked to leave Manchester United. Manchester United trying to force him out. So he's saying, well, hold on, I was going to stay here and for the whole duration of my contract. If he'd have done that, he would have left. He would have got a big bumper payment as a free transfer, as a free agent. So he's saying, basically, if you want me to leave, you need to pay up the stuff you were going to pay me in 12 months' time, which we believed was £3 million. It ain't. It's £7 million. Wan Bissaka wants a £7 million payoff to leave Manchester United and join West Ham. When I say join West Ham, it wouldn't really matter whether it was leave Manchester United and join the Dog and Duck. He wants £7 million on top of his wages. You can now understand why this is going to become very, very difficult for anyone. In many respects, I thought that perhaps Manchester United would be a bit difficult, and you understand why they've been tricky to deal with, as we've discussed in other videos. We'd heard that originally the price was £10 million, then they'd moved it to £15 million, back down to 10, back up to 15, and that was £18 million. You can absolutely understand why, if Man United's valuation of the player is £18 million, why they're probably reluctant to give £7 million of that back to the player. Particularly if, look, how much Man United need funds, I'm not so sure. But if what they've got to do is sort of abide by ever increasingly stringently enforced profit sustainability regulations, then maybe they need to balance the books in those. You can understand why they wouldn't do it. I absolutely understand why West Ham wouldn't want to do this. It's a ridiculous amount of money, and I think the thing is, you want to know that a player wants to join West Ham. You really do. Look, obviously they all want to earn money and they want to get the best price available. But what you want to hear the sort of stuff that Hulkrug was saying the other day. His interview was fantastic. He wants to play for West Ham. He's learnt all this stuff. He's saying, "Come on, you Irons." He's learnt about the fans. He's invested. You can just see the guy is invested in West Ham. I think he's going to become a bit of a Ginger Pele for us, a bit of a cult hero. You want to know that a player wants to join West Ham. It's really hard to look at this Wan Bissaka stuff and not perceive it to be a mercenary decision. Well, how can it not be? It's all about the money, and I'm not sure. I think he's a great player. I wasn't sure about him in terms of attacking fullback, as I explained too many times. I'm not going to repeat myself on that either. So I think to break the bank for it, and imagine that. So Man United are saying, we're not paying it, you pay it. That's what's saying to West Ham, you pay it. £7 million, no wonder we're bloody not. Can you imagine if that guy cost us like £18 million plus 7? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to save you the mathematics now. That's £25 million. I'm glad I did that. You don't need to get your calculators out anymore. I've done it. I've done the maths for you. That's £25 million. It's too much. And if he's going to want 70, 80 grand a week as well, it just seems a little bit too much. And we're trying to tighten the old belt, aren't we? You know. Anyway, so I mean, that's quite shocking. And that, when you factor it in, you probably understand a little more why we might be going for Kieran Trippier. I mean, yesterday we dealt with the young golden boy Martinez. How realistic that is, I don't know. I did the video yesterday. I did a little bit more research afterwards. Seems like possibly Barcelona and Manchester City are after that kid. Wow. Okay, we probably don't stand much of a chance, do we, on that one? I'd love to, absolutely love to get him. So, it boils down to Kieran Trippier. In all honesty, I don't. As a stopgap, if it was Soufal or Trippier, I'd go with Trippier, because actually I do think he's got the attacking intent that Lopetegui would want. He's to be fair, he's too old. But for a year or something like that, you'd probably do it, wouldn't you? Year, 2 years maybe. Great leadership. I thought he was a great signing for Newcastle. When Eddie Howe brought him in, it was the right signing, right club, right time. It may well be that that's the case at West Ham. I thought he was. I felt sorry for him when he played for England, over on the left-hand side. every bit of him. He's a right winger. He's not. Sorry, he's a right back. He's not a left back at all. It wouldn't be ideal. Don't get me wrong. I'd prefer the young lad. If what we're going to do is a statement of intent, then you go and get the young lad. And I think you'd probably start to worry, bearing in mind Rodders was 31. All right, he's on a free transfer. He's 31. And Holkrug is 31. He's 32 in February. Oh, clean sheet. Wesley Fodringham. That doesn't matter so much because he's probably not going to play, bless him. You can understand why we might be a little bit worried about having... We already had the second oldest squad in the Premier League last season. It would probably mean we'd have the oldest squad in the Premier League if we got those as well. But I could understand it. I can understand why West Ham would walk away from Wan Bissaka. If money's an issue, we've still got to bring the centre-back in, which will bring us nicely on to the Kurt Zouma news, who is agreed to move to the UAE, United Arab Emirates Pro League. We'll get to that in just a second. Before I do, can I tempt you to know, look at me growler? Don't know why I said that. Look, actually, I'm going to promote Manscaped now, as you've probably guessed. Manscaped are brilliant. Forget about their products for a second. They let you say what you want. We got sponsors. Sponsors are a big part of Hammers Chat. Sponsors, Patreon, you guys watching the adverts, a big part of Hammers Chat. But obviously sometimes when you get sponsors, they're very strict on what you must say. And it sounds like a spiel. Manscaped say, do what you want. Honestly, say what you want. No one's coming back at me about the growler stuff there. The torch to see your pecker. No one's mentioned anything. Me calling it a pube trimmer. No one says anything. Anyway, if you've been watching these recently, I've been doing a lot on the Manscaped 5.0. Brilliant bit of kit. I keep on mentioning the beard trimmer. But it's always upstairs because I use it. I've got it. I've actually brought it down to show you. There is actually some hair on it. Do you know why? Because I use it, right? Hopefully you can see that there. There's a little nozzle on it. And you can actually extend the top. Hopefully you can see that there. You see that? The top is rising up. So basically, you can set that to a 0.5 to a 6. Basically, you can adjust the length of your beard without having to use interchangeable nozzles. One nozzle does all sizes. Absolutely brilliant. No torch on this one. You don't actually need it. This is the best thing they do. I don't care what anyone says. This is the best thing that they do. Best of all, we're going to give you 20% off of any Manscaped product, plus free shipping. Put all the stuff in your basket. Links in the description below. When you get to the checkout, it'll say, do you have a discount code? Say, yes, I do. You don't actually have to say that. You just have to write a discount code in there. It's Hammers Chat Pubes, all one word. Great company, great products, great people to work for. They keep renewing with us. I guess because you guys keep buying their products and using that code. So we really, really do appreciate it. But I'm sure you were not disappointed with any of the... I don't know why I'm doing that. Any of the stuff that you get. Absolutely brilliant. I've actually got some Manscaped boxer shorts on at the moment, but I'm not going to show you. You just have to take my word for it. Kurt Zouma. I couldn't attest to what boxer shorts he's got on. So he's agreed to leave. He knows his days are numbered at West Ham. I'm off ski, he said. Now, here's the interesting thing. He's agreed to leave. There's no transfer fee, but I've done me sums, and if you are to believe that he does earn £125,000 a week, it's a saving of sort of like £5.6 million. It's quite a lot. Frees up a squad space, which are getting quite tight, and the wages alone will allow us to go and bring in a central defender. As mentioned yesterday, Tim Stuyton has two in mind, two central defenders. He doesn't want to buy two, but the shortlist is two. Last night, Dharmesh Sheth gave a shortlist of 5, I think, 4 or 5. Mats Hummels was on it. I can't believe that. I can't believe it. I won't believe it. I think it's a red herring. I was going to say it's not a particularly good one. I guess it is, bearing in mind we've bought some older players. Why would we not? But he won't fit. It won't work. The whole point of Lopetegui, it's not just with Zouma, I think, that he is injured. I mean, if he can play through the injury, that's fine. It's the fact that he has a lack of mobility. I think that's the problem, and it's what the injuries have done to him, which makes it a little bit tricky with the medical. So let's not get ahead of ourselves and assume that Zouma's going to pass a medical for his new club. But if we had a problem with him being Max Kilman's partner because of his lack of mobility, then why would Hummels be any different? I don't believe that. I really don't. I think he wants a young, fit, strong, fast central defensive partnership, and I think that's probably what he's going to get. The really interesting thing about the Zouma stuff is, as soon as that deal is ratified, I'm talking Zouma to go, Steiten is going to get straight on it, and what I've heard is that he wants to get it done to see they're going to try everything they can, the club, to get the deal done before the start of the season. So ideally, the club, before we play Aston Villa, would like to have the brand new defensive partnership in place. Obviously, the closer we get to that kick-off time, the less likely that is to happen. But that's the deal. There's no desire on the club's part, or in particular Julian Lopetegui's part, for any transfers to drag on too long once the season starts. Yes, look, once the season starts, do you get another, you get till the end of the month to negotiate? Yes, you do. The transfer window remains open. It doesn't slam shut just because the season starts. But I don't think he doesn't want the distraction. He wants the players in early. He wants to get them all training. He wants to get them up to speed on his tactics. I think certainly something as important as a central defensive partnership is going to be incredibly important. One thing I have noticed, though, just before we go, Naif Gerd gone very quiet. It's all gone quiet over there. Very quiet in terms. It was always at the start of the season, start of the transfer window, should I say. Naif Gerd would go. That's what would facilitate bringing the other defender in. I do wonder if, because we haven't bought John Duran, there's extra money there. We didn't spend anywhere near as much on Füllkrug. Obviously, haven't spent any on the central midfielder. We knew there was money there because we bid for Alex Garcia. So I do wonder if that's freed up a little bit more money for the central defender. And it's funny. There's been no bid. We expected a big bid from the Saudi Pro League. Well, I say we expected. I didn't. I wasn't expecting any big bid for a Gerd at all. I think his value is probably depreciated at West Ham. But he's featured in the friendlies, all the friendlies. I would suggest that I think Lopetegui probably quite likes him. All the footage you see from the training ground, all the stuff that the club in-house media team are doing a great job at the moment. A great job. I mean, I've got to say, anyone that has not gone and seen Rob Armstrong's interview with, I know I said it for the last 2 or 3 days, but go and have a look at his interview with Füllkrug. It's the guy gets it. I really do think he's going to be a cult hero at West Ham. I really do. And I think Füllkrug will do quite well as well. But I'm just, what was I saying? I've lost my bloody train of thought there. Look, I'm just saying, an eye for Gerd. You look at all the images, all the pictures, all the videos from the in-house club media team. I think, I don't know, I'm not seeing a desperation from the club to get rid of him, maybe. And maybe, just maybe, Gerd's not thinking it either. There's still a really good player there. I would not be unhappy to keep him. I think that would make the squad really strong. If we got another centre-back in, and then we had Mavropanos and a Gerd there as well, that's really good. It really gives him, Lopetegui, ammunition if he needs to move to that, options if he needs to move to that back three, doesn't it? So yeah, really exciting stuff. So there you go. As of right now, as of lunchtime, we are looking at Kurt Zouma, Ofsky, and Wan Bissaka. Looks like he's priced himself out of a move. He won't care though. He's happy to stay there. He's happy to leave on a free. Get his choice of club then. Sean Wright Philippitis, that's what I call it. Winston Bogarditis. Two different diseases, actually. It's to waste a year. It's a short career. You always hear it, don't you? It's why footballers got to earn so much money. We have a short career. Okay, well, why waste a year of it? Why, don't you want to play some football in your career? Maybe he thinks he will at Man United. I'm not so sure. They might punish him if he refuses to move. Anyway, there you go. I'll catch up with you tomorrow.